Thank you for joining us today on Biscon Television News Roundup. I'm Stella Opara. Coming up in the news, Foreign Affairs Minister tasks Nigeria Reputation Management Group on Nigeria's international image. Varsity students to face drug tests, says Education Minister. In business news, Rouhani says no economic growth without power sector reform. On the foreign scene, US warns Nigerians against birth tourism. Now the news in detail. On Monday, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, condemned President Tinubu's administration over a fresh $21 billion foreign loan approved by the National Assembly, warning that it could push Nigeria's public debt beyond 200 trillion naira by the end of 2025. The party described the move as fiscal vandalism and accused the administration of mortgaging Nigeria's future to mask policy failures. The ADC compared Tinubu's borrowing to Buhari's, claiming that Tinubu has borrowed 10 times more annually. It criticized the loan's lack of visible economic impact and warned that mounting debt is straining small businesses and overburdening Nigerian taxpayers. The party demanded full transparency on all loan agreements signed since 2015. In another story, on Tuesday, Kaduna State Governor Basani said northern political leaders, not President Tinubu, were to blame for the region's insecurity and underdevelopment. At the Sir Ahmadu Bello Foundation event in Kaduna, Sani challenged northern elites to reflect on their decades of inaction and collaborate with the federal government rather than shift blame. Sani highlighted his administration's progress, including a hybrid security model and efforts to boost financial inclusion for millions. He praised Tinubu's initiatives in education and agriculture. He urged the North to take charge of its development and stop waiting for Abuja. Now, on Wednesday, Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga urged the Nigeria Reputation Management Group to shape a positive image of Nigeria, especially in an era of disinformation. Speaking at the group's retreat in Abuja, Tuga emphasized the need for a national narrative built on trust, unity, and resilience. Key figures, including the Comptroller General of Customs and Channel's media chairman, Dr. John Momo, echoed the need for credibility and strategic communication. The retreat aimed to establish a clear roadmap for media diplomacy and public trust, positioning Nigeria as a respected voice globally in governance and culture. Now, it was in the news on Thursday that the federal government would begin mandatory drug integrity tests for students in tertiary institutions, according to Education Minister Dr. Tunji Alausa. The move followed a meeting with NDLEA Chairman Buba Marwa, where a three-pronged approach was agreed, which are revising drug education, implementing drug abuse prevention programs in secondary schools, and introducing routine and random testing in universities. Dr. Alausa emphasized the link between drug use and declining academic performance, employability, and youth crime. He announced the formation of a substance use prevention unit within the ministry and the revised school curriculum to include drug education. An inter-ministerial working group with the NDLEA will drive these efforts, according to the report. Now, on Friday, former Education Minister Dr. Obi Ezekwesili rejected the ongoing constitutional amendment process, describing it as a wasteful charade that won't fix Nigeria's systemic problems. At a lecture in Abeokuta, she said the current constitution lacks legitimacy and cannot address issues like insecurity, unemployment, and poor governance. Ezekwesili called for a people-driven constitution through a constitutional conference and national referendum. She urged the media to lead this push and warned that political leadership in Nigeria has been hijacked by self-serving elites. Former diplomat Sharafuddin Ishola also criticized the current federalism model, stating it fails to empower regions or promote national growth. You're watching Biscon Television News Roundup. Up next is business news. Welcome back. Now to business news. Report on Monday showed that Nigeria's real estate sector surged to 41.3 trillion naira in 2024, becoming the third largest contributor to the nation's GDP after trade and crop production. This followed a recent GDP rebasing by the National Bureau of Statistics, which revised the 2023 real estate valuation from 10.5 trillion naira to 30.7 trillion naira. Industry stakeholders said the growth reflected improved data capturing, increased urbanization, and the formalization of property-related services. Experts highlighted that the sector drove employment across multiple value chains, including construction, design, sales, and property management, making it a key driver of economic growth. Now, on Tuesday, economist Bismarck Rwani said Nigeria's persistent electricity issues were stalling economic growth and must be urgently addressed. Speaking on a television program, Rwani warned that power outages, especially in GDP-driving states like Lagos and Ogun, carried massive economic costs. He cited structural inefficiencies, tariff distortions, and underinvestment as major barriers. On refining, Rwani emphasized the need for scale and operational efficiency, describing the sector as a high-volume, low-margin business that demanded global competitiveness and strategic reform. Now, on Wednesday, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, warned Lagos traders against price inflation and the sale of substandard goods. At Market Engagement Forum, FCCPC disclosed findings of expired rice being rebranded and spoiled produce being resold, calling the practices dangerous and illegal. The Commission also addressed fake electronics, tampered scales, and price fixing in major markets like Mile 12 and Alaba. Market leaders expressed a willingness to cooperate with calls for improved transport systems and trader support grants. Now, FCCPC promised continued enforcement to protect consumers and honest traders alike. Now, on Friday, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, urged the federal government to urgently automate Nigeria's port systems to end cargo delays and improve competitiveness. LCCI President Gabriel Idahosa highlighted inefficiencies at Apapa Port, where cargo dwell time averaged 26 days compared to 5 or 7 in regional peers like Ghana and South Africa. Stakeholders also demanded full implementation of the national single window and redeployment of cargo scanners to reduce corruption and bottlenecks. The LCC criticized a recent 15% tariff hike and applauded the increased use of rail transport, which has led to lower logistics costs in recent weeks. You're still watching Biscon Television News Roundup. Coming up next is foreign news. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. It was in the news on Monday that the U.S. mission in Nigeria issued a public warning against birth tourism, stating that any visa applicant suspected of planning to give birth in the U.S. to obtain citizenship for their child will be denied entry. The warning was shared on the mission's official social media accounts on Monday. The consulate emphasized that using a visa primarily for childbirth is a violation of U.S. immigration rules. The statement formed part of a broader campaign to enforce visa regulations and discourage misuse of travel permits. Hashtags such as #VisaWiseTravelSmart were included in the advisory. Now, on Wednesday, an Israeli minister suggested the possibility of annexing parts of Gaza to pressure Hamas into a ceasefire deal. The proposal made by cabinet member Ziv Elkin came amid stalled mediation efforts and growing international calls for a two-state solution, with Britain and France vowing to recognize Palestine by September if Israel doesn't act. Meanwhile, starvation in Gaza worsened, with over 150 deaths linked to hunger, including children. The UN said aid access was improving slightly, but remained inadequate. Israel's offensive, which began after Hamas's October 7 attack, has killed more than 60,000 people, while hostage families and officials remained divided over the path to peace. In another story on Friday, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney expressed disappointment over President Donald Trump's decision to raise tariffs on Canadian goods from 25% to 35%. The move followed Canada's announcement to recognize Palestinian statehood, which Trump cited as a trigger alongside concerns over fentanyl trafficking. Carney defended Canada's efforts to curb drug flows and reaffirmed commitment to the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, noting that many goods remain exempt. He vowed to protect Canadian jobs and diversify exports, while warning that key sectors like steel, lumber, and automobiles will feel the impact. Now, also on Friday, U.S. President Donald Trump slammed Russia's latest missile and drone strikes on Kyiv, calling the attacks disgusting, and threatened fresh sanctions if Moscow doesn't halt its offensive by next week. The strikes killed at least 26 people, including children, prompting Trump to dispatch his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, to Russia for urgent talks. Trump warned that new sanctions could include secondary tariffs targeting Russia's trade partners like China and India, though he admitted uncertainty over their impact on President Putin. His comments reflected growing frustration with Moscow's continued aggression, despite earlier hopes of brokering peace. Vladimir Putin has, however, said Moscow sought a lasting and stable peace in Ukraine, but insisted Russia's conditions remained unchanged, including Ukraine ceding control of 4 annexed regions. You're still watching Biscon Television News Roundup. Coming up next is sports news.
Hello and welcome to Sports News Roundup on Biscon TV. On Monday, we shared the story that defending champions Remo Stars will host Rivers United in their opening fixture of the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League season. The encounter will hold at the Remo Stars Stadium in Ikenne. In another high-profile fixture, Abia Warriors will entertain Kano Pillars at the Umuahia Township Stadium. Former champions Rangers International will take on newly promoted side Kun Khalifat FC and the first Oriental Derby of the new season. Other matchday one fixtures include Wiki Tourists against Plateau United, Katsina United hosting Warri Wolves, Kwara United against Ikorodu City, Bendel Insurance will travel to El Kanami Warriors, Shooting Stars will host Bayelsa United, while newly promoted side Barua FC will host Eyimba, and Niger Tornadoes will round its week off against Nasarawa United. The 2025-26 NPFL season will kick off on Friday, the 22nd of August. And then on Tuesday, we brought the news that Portuguese forward João Felix has signed a 2-year deal with Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr, where he will play alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. The 25-year-old, once a record signing for Atletico Madrid, has struggled to recapture his early form during stints at Barcelona, Chelsea, as well as AC Milan. His move marks a shift from Europe to the Middle East, where Al Nassr reportedly offered a lucrative contract worth up to €35 million per season. Felix's arrival signals a new phase in Saudi football's recruitment strategy, targeting younger talent rather than aging stars. A statement, "I am here to spread joy, let's win together," reflects optimism for a fresh start. The transfer was reportedly influenced by Ronaldo, who pitched the idea of building chemistry ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And then on Wednesday, we told you that Bayern Munich have signed Colombian winger Luis Diaz from Liverpool for a deal reportedly worth up to €75 million. The 28-year-old, who won several titles with Liverpool, has inked a contract with Bayern through 2029. Bayern CEO Jan Christian Dressen called Diaz one of the Premier League's best left wingers, highlighting his winning mentality and experience. Diaz said he was thrilled to join one of the world's top clubs and expressed his desire to win every possible trophy. He leaves Liverpool with 17 goals and 8 assists last season, making him their second top scorer. His move fills a gap left by injuries and recent departures in Bayern's attack, including Jamal Musiala as well as Leroy Sané. On Thursday, we reported that World Athletics has announced that all female athletes, including Nigerian sprint star Tobi Amusan, must undergo a one-time genetic gender test starting from September 1st, 2025, to confirm biological sex before competing in the Tokyo World Championships. The test will screen for the SRY gene, typically found on the Y chromosome, using a cheek swab or blood sample. President Sebastian Coe defended the policy as essential for fairness in women's sports, stating that gender cannot trump biology. The regulation consolidates existing rules on transgender and DSD athletes into a single standard for all female competitors. Amusan is currently preparing for the Nigerian Championships in Lagos as part of a build-up to the global event. And finally, on Friday, we told you that the 6-time Afro-Basket champions, Nigeria's The Tigress, have advanced to the semi-finals of the 2025 Women's Afro-Basket Tournament by defeating Cameroon's 83-47 and keeping their title defense campaign alive in Côte d'Ivoire. The victory extends their unbeaten run in Africa to 27 games, dating back to 2015, while moving them closer to a record 5th title in a row. Only Senegal have achieved Nigeria's current feat of 4. Following the dominant win against Cameroon, the Tigress will now face Senegal in the semi-finals on Saturday, August 2nd. While the Tigress continue to rewrite the history of women's basketball in Africa, Cameroon, a former silver medalist, is fighting for 5th place, which would be an improvement of 1 place from their performance in 2023. That concludes our sports news roundup for this week. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to Biscon Television News Roundup. Now to entertainment news. It was in the news on Monday that Nollywood actress Yabojo publicly shared an emotional prayer for her daughter Priscilla Ojo during a baby shower held in Canada. Amid celebrations surrounding Priscilla's pregnancy with Tanzanian singer Juma Jux, Iyabo declared her hopes of a lasting and happy marriage for her daughter. Iyabo declared her hopes for a lasting and happy marriage for her daughter. Visibly moved, the actress stated that although her own marriage didn't succeed, she believed her daughter's will, saying, and I quote, "If mine did not work, yours will work, for I have paid that sacrifice for yours to work." End of quote. Iyabo also responded to criticism over the extravagant celebration, emphasizing her determination to break generational patterns of failed marriages. She encouraged mothers to make bold choices for their children's futures and not be swayed by public judgment. Concluding her remarks, Iyabo highlighted the importance of spiritual healing, saying there's something called ancestral curses and must be broken. Now, on Wednesday, U.S. President Donald Trump was reportedly considering granting a presidential pardon to American rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who is facing up to 14 years in prison following convictions related to the transportation of individuals for prostitution. Although Combs was acquitted of more serious charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, the case has generated significant public and legal interest ahead of his sentencing, scheduled for October 3, 2025 in New York. Trump stated he would review the facts carefully before making any decision and emphasized that any potential pardon would not be influenced by popularity or personal relationships. Diddy's legal team has proposed a $50 million bail, which has been strongly opposed by federal prosecutors. The case continues to unfold with national attention, and any action by Trump could become a major political and legal flashpoint. Now, on Friday, a Nigerian man identified as @Arawa_source on X has sparked controversy by declaring Big Brother Niger haram, meaning forbidden under Islamic law, and vowing to petition for its permanent ban in Nigeria. His statement came shortly after the launch of Season 10, which introduced 29 housemates. The post ignited heated reactions online, with many Nigerians criticizing the move as misplaced priority amid pressing national issues like insecurity and poverty. Others defended the show's entertainment value and economic impact, urging tolerance and personal choice. And that's it on Biscon Television News Roundup. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for staying with us.
Flooding, most common and recurrent disaster in Nigeria. Nigeria has two main climate seasons every year. The rainy season takes place between April to September, and the dry season, which is influenced by the Harmattan wind from the Sahara, is between December to March each year. Rainfall is one of the primary factors that can lead to flooding. Intense or prolonged rainfall can amount to water entering rivers, streams, and other water bodies which can exceed their capacity to safely contain it. This excess water then spills over into surrounding areas, causing flooding. The intensity and duration of rainfall can significantly impact the likelihood and severity of flooding. Climate change also plays a pivotal role in flooding due to a rise in global temperatures as the atmosphere can hold more moisture, leading to more intense rainfall events. Flooding is the most common and recurring disaster in Nigeria. According to a report in October 2022, flooding affected 34 out of the 36 states in the country and displaced 1.3 million people. Over 600 people lost their lives and over 200,000 houses were either partially or fully damaged. More than 2.5 million people were in need of humanitarian assistance, 60% of which are children. The World Bank has estimated the total economic damage from the 2022 floods, including damage to residential and non-residential buildings, infrastructure, productive sectors, and farmlands, at approximately $6.6 billion. Also, in October 2023, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, issued an alert over the threat of rapid flooding along the River Niger and River Benue Basin, owing to the release of water from the Lagdo Dam in the Republic of Cameroon. According to NEMA, states such as Adamawa, Benue, Taraba, Nasarawa, Kogi, Anambra, Edo, Delta, Rivers, and Bayelsa were affected. In Adamawa State, reports showed that the floods caused a large-scale displacement of more than 8,504 households, which affected 51,043 individuals, the majority of whom are women, children, and the elderly living in different communities in the state. The flooding caused infrastructure damage, of which include roads, houses, health facilities, IDP sites, schools, and other community facilities across 14 out of 21 LGAs in Adamawa State. Meanwhile, in 2023, the Director General of NEMA, Mansour Matazu, says Nigeria lost $4.6 billion due to flooding, which has contributed negatively to the nation's gross domestic product. The negative impact of flooding cannot be overemphasized, as it affects individuals, damage to agriculture, economic impacts, communities, and the environment. In 2022, cases of diarrhea and waterborne diseases, respiratory infection, and skin diseases were on the rise. In the northeastern states of Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe alone, a total of 7,485 cases of cholera and 319 associated deaths were reported. In light of this, the federal government, through the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, has warned that 148 local government areas across 31 states are among the highly probable flood risk areas for 2024. The identified states are Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Imo, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, Plateau, Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, and Yobe states. According to the minister, high flood risk areas span from April to November 2024, with potential impacts on population, agriculture, livelihoods, livestock, infrastructure, and the environment. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has begun to put in place proactive measures to mitigate climate impact as well as flooding in the year 2024. The Commission says stakeholders with vast experiences in various fields such as agriculture, health, water resources, and infrastructure have been brought together to brainstorm so as to come up with actionable climate-related disaster preparedness and mitigation strategies that would assist in preparing for the responding to expected impact of the predicted climate hazards. To mitigate the impact of flooding in the country, the federal government needs to invest more in early warning systems to provide timely alerts to residents in flood-prone areas, giving them time to evacuate and protect their property. Implement strict land use regulations to prevent construction in flood-prone areas. Also, the federal government should invest in improving infrastructure, such as building and maintaining proper drainage systems, levees, and dams to prevent or minimize flooding, increasing public awareness about flood risk and providing education on how to mitigate these risks. such as proper flood-proofing techniques, can help reduce the impact of flooding. Finally, providing financial assistance to individuals and communities affected by flooding would help them recover and rebuild after the disaster.
Back on the beat, BOS International Magazine is back. It's bold, it's fresh, it's everything BOS in print. By popular demand, the magazine you've missed, the one that once traveled side by side with the Biscon show, is back. Reimagined for today, reborn for tomorrow. Once a flagship companion to the BOS brand, BOS International Magazine returns to reclaim its space, not just as a publication, but as a powerful extension of the BOS experience. From the vibrant pulse of people and politics to the fast lanes of sports and lifestyle. From the quiet corridors of influence to the vibrant streets that shape our culture. BOS International Magazine is your passport to the stories that matter. We shine the spotlight on the bold, the brilliant, and the beautiful. We capture the essence of Nigeria and the heartbeat of its people. We tell stories that inspire, profiles that endear, news that resonates, and moments that live forever in print. It's not just a magazine, it's a movement, it's a mirror, it's BOS on a page. BOS International Magazine. News, sports, people, politics, places, lifestyle. By popular demand. Back in your hands. And once again, the perfect complement to BOS on screen.
Hello, folks. I greet you. Welcome one more time to another program in the series, Citizen Jones Today. What we do is simple. Issues that get thrown up by my country, your country, are interrogated here. We give context to that issue, just so you know. Today, pension protest. Retired police officers disagree with poor pension and gratuity packages. As members of the civil population, personnel of the Nigeria police are empowered by law to go on a protest. And so when retired police officers, men and women, went on a protest over poor pension and gratuity just the other day, not a few Nigerians shared the pain of the men and women in uniform. Caring for our policemen and women is essential due to the unique demands and stress of policing a peculiar Nigerian society. This care, one must emphasize, includes a commensurate salary structure, mental health needs, and general needs, fostering a positive and respectful environment within the policing service. You admit it is crucial. Retired police personnel complain about the hijack of officers' pension and prohibitive welfare packages. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbatokun, identifies with the plight of the striking retired members, but it does not end there. A happy police service implies a force that is well regarded by the public, enjoys high morale amongst its officers, and effectively fulfills its duties. It is not asking for too much, or is it? My two discussants are here. They understand the dynamics of policing in my peculiar country. So let's meet and greet Nelson Ekujimi. Nelson, I greet you. Welcome.
I greet you, Citizen Jones. Good day, viewers.
And Akin Fatunke, Mr. Fatunke, I greet you too.
I return the greetings, and our viewers and listeners, nice to be with you.
Yeah, so retired police officers and men went on a strike on July the 21st. And of course, a bemused country adopted the look-see attitude. What's going to happen? Gentlemen, a reasonable and acceptable welfare package for policemen and officers have been on the table for a long time, or hasn't it?
Well, Citizen, thank you very much for this important discourse. The issue about the welfare of the police personnel is something that from time immemorial, we as Nigerians, we have neglected. And that is why every time we complain about the character of our policemen, and like some of us used to say, you cannot give what you don't have. Today, we are talking about the retired police personnel who went on strike, complaining about their welfare packages. I think before we go to the welfare of the retired police officers or personnel, it is important for us to also introspect into the conditions of service of those who are still in active service. This is a police force. The other day, you remember, I think that was in 2012, if I'm correct, when a national television station broadcast the harrowing conditions of the police training college, and that public outrage, prompted the then president Goodluck
Yeah,
Jonathan
to
visit and see
Yeah.
things for himself. So, like we rightly say in our Yoruba parlance, that kokoro tó ń jẹ̀fọ́ inú ẹ̀fọ́ ló wà, that the insect that is consuming or infecting the vegetables inside the vegetable. This policing,
the enemy within.
yes, this policing institution is people by Nigerians who themselves are policemen. So how come they are sitting on a rotten institution, or a rotten maggot, or an institution that is not well structured, if you permit the use of that word, and they keep quiet and they are at home with it. And that also reflects in why you see that a lot of these officers immediately they retire from service. A lot of them pass to the great beyond, because after serving the country for 35 years, they are left to their own, to their own fate, without the society putting anything in place to reward them and to keep them alive. Maybe they will become useful citizens after service that they should be in any society. So the state of the Nigerian police today, whether those in service or those outside of service, is not one that encourages any human being. I remember I had the opportunity of interfacing with the police authorities severally, both at the higher level and at the lower level. And you meet a policeman and you hear him tell you, "I don't pray for my enemy to join the police." And I'm like, wow. The police has always been a respectable and dignified institution.
Yeah.
Where if you go to other countries, even families have a history of being in the police. They will tell you this one.
They singled out states like Kogi, Edo, and Akwa Ibom, and Benue here as having the most
a number of persons.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is to tell you the dignity the institution has brought to the people that can make those environments to be to send their children or their people into the police. But sadly, the situation we have found ourselves is one that is very painful. It's traumatizing. When an assistant inspector general of police, having retired, is coming out publicly to say, since I retired, I'm getting 20,000 naira monthly pension. You want to ask 20,000 naira to do what? That is a man whom, if you look at his age, will not be less than 60. And even if to buy only his drugs, because as we age, so do the system or our body require nourishment to
health challenges.
Yes, you come with all
Nelson, so when if you are told, given what you have told us, if you hear the statement, "We deserve the police we have," how do you react?
I'll react that yes, because of like we say in IT parlance, garbage in, garbage out.
Okay.
If we have not invested in the welfare, in the equipping our police. Definitely, the service we get is what we have. Is like what you plant is what you reap.
Yeah.
And let me also quickly say this. There was a time I visited the office of a commissioner of police in one of the states. I was alarmed that the office of a CP does not have a photocopier machine. Of all things. So I asked myself, how can they carry out their responsibility of administering
Thank
the
you,
police of that state?
Thank you, Nelson, for your opener. Aki, how do you open?
I open from the end and will be very frank with myself, be very frank with you, Citizen Jones, my dear friend and brother, Nelson Ekunjimi, to say that for an umpteenth time, I cover my eyes in shame as a Nigerian. I see what has transpired at something as far back as in the early 70s that we have been talking about the issue of police deliberately being underfunded. And we see situations where, you remember that Willie police officer, Ogugwaja, kept on saying that, look, this has deliberately been put upon us by layers
Let me
upon layers of our leaders to deliberately put us here.
Let me phrase that like this. The retired embattled police officer Alozie Ogugwaja, a journalism graduate from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, raised the national adrenaline when he said an effective police force will truncate
military
plotting.
coup.
I don't know if that.
I remember very well, and takes us back to Donna
Remember Babalakin Tribunal? He said the pepper soup theory.
Yes.
So, what we have just witnessed is the end game of years of
neglect,
maladministration, neglect, and corruption.
So it was waiting to happen.
It should even have happened long before now. I know that there was a bit of an undercurrent that even the military, the police were going to go on strike, and then I heard that it is not your place to go on strike and all that. And I keep on, reminding people, don't forget what happened to Anwar Sadat. Anwar Sadat was done in. Then of Egypt was done in by his guards. And quite a number of other ones were done. Kabila
became killed
now
in the full glare of the public.
Now
at a public function.
You put AK-47, even it's a court girl, in the hands of a man, and you don't pay him. Like he said, Jonathan had to go and see the kind of whitewash that we had at
police college
at the police college Ikeja, and then you think, for the love of humankind, that you are going to find yourself safe. Having said all that, I am not here to now continue the agonization.
Yeah. Sorry again, Mr. Fatuge. Constitutionally speaking, the most powerful man on Nigeria's road is the policeman. He's the only fellow who can stop and search you, who can get into your home, produce a search warrant and search you. Not the soldier, not the Air Force, not the Navy man. But that he has surrendered that power on the altar of 50 naira, 20 naira bribe and all that. It's a two-way street, don't you think?
No. I'm not going to take that.
No. Let me break that down. It's a two-way street.
No.
Nigerians don't like to allow the law take its course. A Nigerian who runs into trouble would make phone calls so as to get out of
Citizen
the problem.
Jones. Cause and effect. Sigma fraud was very clear. In the sociology and psychology, to even say that when you see an armed robber, that is going to steal something from you. Don't keep on saying that. Don't blame that armed robber. There are causes. There are things that has led that armed robber to begin to carry guns. No, I mean the
So
verdict may be
which is
out.
saying people hold on. People say they go into crime because there are no jobs. Nelson, if all the jobless people in Nigeria go into robbery, anybody go remain?
Hey, I am saying you are looking at the downstream, like we say in my profession. Let's take this from the top. You have deliberately starved the average policeman the decency of living. He is aware that his pension that we are talking about, some people have been sitting on it. Past IGs have been sitting on it, and they know, they saw it. On just one occasion, to the best of my own recollection, was the time of Tafa Balogun, when the guy that was supporting her said, "Oh God, so many things are going to you. Let me just take this." And Tafa Balogun got angry over that. You know, that was the Waterloo for Tafa Balogun. My point, therefore, is this: I think, like you said, we get exactly the monkeys that we have decided to put on our trees.
Yeah, because
I
because
believe
you keep giving those monkeys bananas.
now the pension fund. I am aware, back in my days, that we've been talking about this pension fund, apart from the police, general pension, until Obasanjo came and tried to do a reform, and to the glory of God, the private sector now that took a decision that, look, give us our pension, let's see how we can manage it and all that. The police also had a department that was supposed to be looking at the pension, but it should not have been under the direct influence of a one-line authority, because the perpetration of the corruption, if you are going to open your mouth like an Ogugwaja, they are going to stuff some things in your mouth and then you begin to keep quiet. In the same police, we are aware that, and I'm going to mention a particular police officer because I know he's still in the police as we speak. Tunji Disu, when he was heading the special in Lagos, got the support of the Lagos state government at that time, and said, "Look, my man, I am going to do my possible best to make sure that you are going to be different." Lagos, and that was the only time that I saw, when your car breaks down on Third Mainland Bridge or whatever it is, you begin to see police, at least from that angle, trying to help out. Took care very well of their uniforms, the way, and the training and all that, because he was able to draw that from the Lagos state government, that was through the trust fund and all that. That we don't have elsewhere. And so when President Bola met Tinubu and then took a decision, whether you want to call it cosmetic or no cosmetic, that look, it's high time to now take policing away from central and let's devolve it. You notice that quite a number of people who are going to go against it. So my expectation is that Citizen Jones, you as a broadcaster and as a journalist, me as whatever it is I am, and Nelson, and every other person that is listening to us one way or the other, this is the time for all of us to rise up and say no. Egbetogun, I have heard, yes, you said you sympathize. It should go beyond sympathization. For the very first time, let the right thing be done.
Okay, let me.
And the only right thing that can be done will not be through the rank and file of the police. We can get great administrators. Police commission and all that is not going to help us in this respect. Let me give you a breather.
Nelson, we have talked about former President Goodluck Jonathan visiting the police college in Ikeja,
Lagos.
One thing that came to light during the visit is the fact that the police goes rotten on the recruitment ground.
Absolutely.
The recruit pays to get recruited.
Yes.
And he pays to an officer.
Yes.
So
and they also pay to get posted.
the rot does not begin from the policeman.
Yes.
It begins from somewhere.
Yes, but Citizen Jones, you see, while looking at the policing institution as a whole, as well as taking the microscopic view of the retired personnel, I'll tell you for free, the plight of the retired personnel is a reflection of the faulty foundation, like you have mentioned. And I'll tell you this, there was a time I was on a national TV and I spoke about the police as an institution. Do you know that immediately I finished that program, a DPO called me and said, Mr. Kudu, what you are seeing on the surface is deeper
than you think of.
Than I think.
The rot.
That even as a DPO, that if you are not able to generate
X amount
within yourself, that you will be unable to run your police station. In fact, at a point in time, I was involved in a project in which we were looking at how can the community take charge of the welfare of the police within their jurisdiction. And the question we asked ourselves, the level of decay in the police, if the Nigerian people had shown more interest, had become more involved at the local level, maybe we can begin to see a little ray of sanity coming into it. Because if you look at what has been wrong with the police, it has become institutional. Look at the attempt to pull out the contributory pension scheme that is part of the agitations of the retired personnel. And the IGP said they have been on it for the past 11 years.
Can you imagine?
Tell me why is it that difficult to say, okay, we are not going to do because at the expense of the contributory pension scheme, what we have found out is that the police institution is not fulfilling our own part of the bargain. That is why the take-home pay, the pension is nothing to write home about. When you have to put together counterpart funding, and only the man in service you were removing his money from source every month, that the police will be adding XY to it, so that when he retires, this is what we pull out, instrumentally. But for the duration of the time the man or the woman, you have been deducting his money. You have failed to add your own. Definitely, you have sent him.
That would have been what would have happened to
suicide.
Excuse me. That would have been what would have happened in the private sector. At a particular point in time in the private sector, people will take whatever it is, even on the payee or whatever, and then they will keep it. They will not remit it. Now,
remit it is the problem.
Now, the question now is, you're not remitting it because you are not punished. You are not punished because, you are supposed to. Some of the best brains we have in all professions, including mine, that you call accountancy, law, and all that, you find them within the police.
Yes.
But you don't have the discipline of the management to ensure that you do the right thing. It's not new. The accounts have been audited. It's shown this for as long as whatever. And it's not only just police. We also have it in our educational institutions. We also have it. So,
all over.
If we have been able to bring ourselves out in private sector and say, no, never again, we are not going to be part of this, why should anybody still be perpetrating what we are perpetrating, whether the Police Service Commission or what have you? And the only solution, so therefore let's get hope. Yeah. The only solution is do it exactly the way others have done.
As it should be done.
Do it exactly the way others have been done. When you appear in the National Assembly and you have been nominated to be the Inspector General of Police, some of the questions that you should be asked with timeline is, when are you going to do this? How are you not going to do this?
Yeah.
And if you feel that entrenched interest, careful to what I want to say here now, that the entrenched interest even outside the police, within the political class, are the ones that are going to perpetrate and make you to want to go do the wrong thing, then decline.
All right.
I know we don't decline such
Yeah.
things, but it is possible. Now, it's so unfortunate that these guys have taken the bullets. Quite a number of their colleagues have died. They are left homeless. You go to any of their barracks,
Yeah.
and then they are now saying to us, look, you can't continue like this. We should not all keep quiet. And it's incumbent, I must say, on the political class. And right now, I know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one in the saddle. Must press it down. We must resolve this problem. Must take this very, very seriously. Must take a total overhaul of the police administration in this country and put the right square in the right hole.
All right.
To be able to move
Gentlemen,
forward.
as we begin to take this discussion home, every governor in this country draws a security allowance from the federal force.
Yes.
And you know that the intervention
from his office, not the federal force. From his office as a governor.
No. The intervention, the money comes from the federal government. When the budget is being prepared.
I know.
So states like Lagos, for instance, has helped the police with
the Lagos State Security Trust Fund.
There is a trust fund. And couldn't something be done about welfare? It's not just enough to buy vehicles and stuff for the
citizens. Even the Lagos.
If you get
I get what you mean. Even the Lagos State Security Trust Fund is also about the welfare. The RRS he talked about, they have a special health insurance policy for their officers, and the Lagos State Security Trust Fund that was established to cater for the special security needs of the people of Lagos. That same security trust fund has been replicated at the federal level. I was part of the advocacy team that went to the National Assembly, to table that bill for the establishment of a National Security Trust Fund. I wouldn't know now whether that bill has scaled, the necessary legislative process and is awaiting presidential assent. But the truth of the matter is that the policing institution, as we have identified it, is not the only one suffering this years of neglect.
Nelson, but the police institution is very key here.
It is the only indispensable institution in any society.
It is very key.
Yes, I agree.
Even as we talk about the drawbacks, let's mention that there have been some good policemen and women in this country.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
I cannot forget the first and only police inspector general who resigned his office, Adamu Suleiman.
Okay.
That was late President Shehu Shagari's first IG.
Okay.
He refused to do the bidding and he resigned. And they put Mr. Sunday Adewuti.
No, they are 1,000,001.
But they said the bad police
the
officers,
bad egg.
The bad eggs make the job. They make the job of the good police officers very dangerous.
Yes, I agree.
And so, in conclusion, the strike has told us that it was time we split the beans.
I think
in splitting the beans, Citizen Jones, there are 1,000 of you, even as a journalist, who is wearing a different cap or hat. Either don't speak the same language as you, either it's not the kind of same religion as you, that we all congregate and gather. And I see your likes with going against the german truth that we have established here. What am I saying? The National Assembly, like Nelson is saying, he took it up to a certain level, must have to be seen to do something. However, even within the National Assembly, they can bring it out for debate, and then we'll be divided. Some people will say we want it.
Yes, that's the beauty of democracy.
It's a beauty of democracy, but it has to have a vision. I hate a situation where we have all identified that we have issues of problems with the police, then we take
As
it
an
out for,
institution.
and then we take it out for a debate. And then we are now saying that because, beauty of democracy, you will now go against it. Somebody will go against it. I will say I'm for it. The federation that we are
the Yoruba say
operating.
we all cannot sleep and think in same direction. Even if we have identified a problem, it is not imperative or it is not compulsory on us to have the same thinking in profiling the solution. I could be profiling the solution, you could be profiling another problem. But it behoves on us all that if we sit down and interrogate the issues holistically, a large chunk of us will be on the same page. While some might be on another
gentlemen,
page.
we must.
That's not been my experience in the Nigerian situation.
Gentlemen, we must apply the brakes here. But I think we have touched the core of the wahala. That the retired police officers and men had to go on a nationwide strike to draw attention to the ills plaguing that very important institution. Is tells you it's a collective failing.
It's a collective shame.
And a collective shame.
Absolutely.
And it is true, therefore, it is true, therefore, that we deserve the police and policing system we have in my country.
Absolutely.
But I want a yes or no answer.
Absolutely.
The question is this: is it late to chart a new course?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Akin, is it late to chart a new course for the police?
No.
All right. So the opportunity is there. Time is of the essence. Producer says we must wind up. I want to thank Nelson Ekujimi for your time.
Thank you, Citizen Jones.
Akin Fatuke for your time.
You are welcome, Citizen Jones.
That's it. The debate continues. We can have the collective policing system of our choice. Bye-bye now.
Every Monday on this station at 11 p.m., the spotlight comes on. It's the Biscon Show. From the heart of the action to your screen, BOS brings the glitz, the glamour, and the stories that matter. Airing on AIT, streaming on Biscon TV through GoTV channel 144, and across Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. We're everywhere you are. From star-studded weddings to political events, corporate galas to celebrity interviews, BOS takes you behind the scenes with style, class, and authenticity. Powered by Biscon Television, our cameras don't just capture moments, we make them unforgettable. With crystal clear visuals, exclusive features, and premium storytelling, we bring you the faces, the voices, and the vibes that shape our world. Hosted by the legendary Prince Biscon, it's more than a show. It's a celebration of life, culture, and excellence. For news, events, and entertainment that shine bright, stay tuned. The Biscon Show. Every moment, pure magic.
A birthday is a new start, a fresh beginning, and a time to pursue new endeavors with new goals and move forward with confidence and courage. And so, on Friday, the 20th of December 2019, friends and family members of the chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, Prince Biscon, gathered to celebrate a doyen of broadcasting as he graciously turned 66. The celebration also doubled as the 38th wedding anniversary of Prince Biscon to his amiable wife, Mrs. Folashade Olatilo. The event, which was hosted by a good friend and confidant of the celebrant, Mr. Gregory Ozigbe, international businessman and quiet philanthropist, the chairman and CEO, Africa Alliance Group, was held at the Lagos Yacht Club, Marina, Lagos. Prince Adebisi Joseph Olatilo was born in Kano on December 20, 1953. He had his primary education at the Baptist Day School, Kano, and Kiriji Memorial Grammar School, Igbajo, in Osun State, Nigeria. Prince Biscon later attended the Lagos State University, Ojo, where he obtained a degree in mass communication. Prince Biscon is the founder, the chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, producers of the Biscon Show, and owners and operators of Biscon Television, a 24-hour TV platform and digital and terrestrial TV platforms. His impact in the broadcasting industry in Nigeria and Africa is second to none. He is happily married to Mrs. Folashade Olatilo, and they are blessed with children and grandchildren. Dignitaries who stormed the event include Ambassador Toyin Lawal, Barrister Shadi Balogun, Otumba Alex Nabanjo, the CEO Rainbow FM, the Chairman Island Club Prince Philip Kolabumere, Apostle Olushi Fashikbe, the General Overseer of the Pavilion of Faith Church, Lagos, and his wife, Mrs. Zainab Fashikbe, who are in-laws to the Olatilos, Professor Toyin Ashiru, Otumba Bimbo Ashiru, Chief Doyin Ogungbe, among many others. The celebrant, Prince Biscon Olatilo, made a remarkable entry as he walked majestically to his seat. Mr. Gregory Ozigbe gave an opening speech during which he described the celebrant as an icon with a grateful heart.
Over 30 years ago when I got married, Bessie was still in service. I remember vividly I had to hunt him down because he was the best thing around at that time. It still is. What I meant that, and then he was still in service. He was still in service. It was the best thing that was ravaging the whole community, the whole state, and coincidentally, we're friends, and I saw it, and he saw it, and an opportunity came to do something together, and he didn't disappoint me. The thing I want to say to close this, so that we can move on with the program of the night, is that we should continue to love each other. We should preach love amongst ourselves. We should not destruct ourselves. If we have been doing that in the past, let us put a stop to it. We must show maturity. We must show experience. We must show, over and above all of that, we must show love, and let's celebrate each other. Let's not indulge in untoward things to say at the back of each other. That should be gone with our younger life. We should celebrate, carry ourselves up, say good things, and work with each other where it is possible.
The event also featured a dance session. Melodious songs were dished out by DJ Dikbo as the celebrant danced gracefully. He was joined on the dance floor by his wife, Mrs. Folashade Olatilo, and friends. The cutting of the birthday cake was supervised by Mr. Gregory Ozigbe and Apostle Olushi Fashikbe, who gave a short sermon and rendered praises to God before the cake was cut.
Amen. So we want to thank Jesus again from number one. The first one is J. I let somebody give me E. And again, S. And again, Jesus. Hallelujah. To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to happy birthday to you.
It was a night of merriment from start to finish as the award-winning multilingual broadcaster extraordinaire Prince Biscon Tv and friends danced till the very end. From Biscon Communications, we wish our chairman and CEO, Prince Biscon Tv, 66 hearty cheers.
On Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024, a distinguished gathering of past and current executive members of the Yoruba Tennis Club convened for a private dinner to celebrate the belated 70th birthday of its former chairman, Brother Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, at the Lagos Yacht Club in Marina. The dinner, orchestrated by esteemed club member, Brother Greg Ozegbe, was held in a serene waterfront ambience and featured sensational music by Shola Babs and crew. In attendance were the distinguished celebrant and past chairman of the club, Professor Brother Adetokunbo Fabanwo, current chairman, Barrister Brother Olakunle Agbebi, vice chairman, Engineer Brother Olawumi Gaspar, immediate past chairman, Brother Babajide Damasio, past chairman and trustee, Brother Sheyi Joseph, past chairman and trustee, Brother Bolaji Cole, past chairman, Brother Dilly Martins, squadron leader retired, Brother Olusegun Koka, distinguished member and chairman CEO of Biscon Communications, Prince Bisi Olatilo, former vice chairman of Lagos State University, Lay, Professor Abisogun Olubode, OFR, among others. The event was a soothing refreshment as Solabab's groovy tunes serenaded the guests. Host, Brother Greg Ozegbe, opened the evening with felicitations for the celebrant and an overview of the night's proceedings.
We all know who our past chairman, Professor Adetokunbo Adetokunbo Fabanwo, is a man of character, is a man of distinction, astute professional. I can go on and on and on and on. It's like with them. But most importantly, he's a human being. He's humane. He has, in spite of all his accomplishments, he still has that personal, what I call personal vein, where he deals with people with compassion, where he deals with people based on what the empathy that they deserve, that you cannot take away from our past chairman.
Chairman Barrister Brother Olakunle Agbebi praised the celebrant as a caring and humane man who has leveraged his esteemed position for the benefit of others. He also commended Brother Greg Ozegbe for organizing the heartfelt event.
I also want to say that Brother Greg Ozegbe said that he is going to retire or he's soon. He failed to qualify it by saying
what exactly he's retiring from. We know from the benefit of long association that there are some things he will not retire from till he dies. Ọlọ́run wa dẹ̀ máa fún yín ṣe. I'd like to thank Brother Greg Ozebe for this very selfless act, this display of brotherly love. 20th birthday of our brother Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo. A lot of things have been said, and they do bear saying, because he is worth everything that has been said, and more. So, Brother Greg, not to take too much time, not to repeat everything that has been said since Monday the 15th. We thank you for hosting us today, and we thank the guest of honor for being here. Prof, I have had occasion to speak on the celebration of this birthday, and I will say it again. You are very humane. You are a man who cares. You have used your position to benefit others. You have changed the standard for the better wherever you have gone. And the Lord will continue to bless you.
The night featured moving tributes from distinguished members. Prince Bisi Onlatilo, who anchored the occasion, celebrated the celebrant's influence in his life and expressed joy at being associated with him, while also appreciating the members for their show of love.
5 years ago, in this same sport, when I turned 66, and he hosted me and my family. So that's in his character. And he just came back not too long ago. Many trips. Now, a special guest of honor tonight. I don't know if you watched the BOS yesterday on AIT and you watched the last footnote that I wrote there. I said apart from him and God, I would have been gone. Because when I had COVID, it wasn't being contemplated, I was pronounced dead. But it was so bad that I almost gave up. So I went to him, Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo. What he did was he just told the man, the MD of the hospital where I got treatment. And it was like a 24 hours vigil on me. Different doctors, about 15 of them. And in about a week, I became solid me. So may God bless you for us. Your hands please together for him again.
Vice Chairman, Engineer Brother Olawumi Gasper, described the celebrant as a fantastic gentleman, a professional par excellence, and a compassionate friend.
We are celebrating a fellow of the Medical Academy of Medicine. Very rare. I'm not sure we have 50 fellows of the Academy of Medicine. I'm not very sure. We're celebrating a friend. We're celebrating a very, very compassionate and passionate, to use the language of a chairman. Later we'll define that. Professor Pa Adetokunbo Fabanwo, unknown to most of us, is a fantastic gentleman.
More heartfelt tributes and reflections came from Brother Bolaji Cole, past chairman and trustee, Brother Shi Joseph, past chairman, Brother Dele Martins, past chairman, Brother Babajide Damasio, immediate past chairman of the Yoruba Tennis Club, Ashiwaju Bolaji Mendes, squadron leader, retired Brother Olusegun Koga, Brother Bolahon Dixon, past general secretary, lay Professor Abisogun Olubode OFR, among others.
Brother and my in-law, married to my niece. And we have been together ago. One thing that I always admire about him is that whenever people, whenever people, even members of the club, some of them, when they want to request for his help, most of them come to me. And I say, you don't have to come to me, I know him. Go to him, he knows you. He will do the best. But some people will go directly and they'll come back to tell me that, oh, Tony Muso. Some will go, will want me just to call. Then I call, and the answer I will get is that, hey, just call one now. I told you, and everything. It's always like that. It's always like that.
The gentleman sitting there is a very, very kind man. He would go out of his way to help anyone. A fantastic administrator. A very patient person. If you do not know Brother Fabangu, well, you say, look, but no, he's an impatient person. When he wants things done, he wants it done immediately. My brother, my Egbon, as I said in my text to you, my Egbon now, God bless you. Congratulations.
I think the theme is about his selflessness. He's very intentional about everything that he does. Nothing will happens by mistake. Just if it happens, it's because he's very strategic and he has planned it, both professionally and socially. And many years ago, when I joined the Yoruba Tennis Club, and I observed the way in which one of our now vice patrons and trustees, Brother Chief Oluyomi Abayomi, operated, I immediately felt that I should be one of his students. But after a while, I was told that I couldn't be a direct student, that I had to register under Professor Fabangu. So he will get the notes, and the ones that he felt like transmitting, he will give to me. But I must tell you that even from those snippets, I learned quite a lot. And we worked together as chairman and vice chairman of the club. And I found him a very methodical and loyal person, very committed in seeing the success of the administration.
Oluwasegun, that name that your parents gave to you at birth is what has taken you to this level. When parents give names to the children, there is a meaning behind it. Ojoojúmọ́ ló ń ṣẹ́gun, ó dẹ̀ máa ṣẹ́gun lọ́jọ́ kú ẹni. Why I'm saying this, you are my brother from another mother. You know it. You know how deep we are. But I'll tell you today, after my parents, after God, my parents, one other person, I will not mention the name here for a reason best known to me. It is you, Adetokunbo Fabangu. I remember years back, I met you through Ajayi, Dr. Ajayi, Dayo Ajayi. And we were friends before, but you did something to me which I will never forget. You inspired me with the knowledge, with the experience I have about the whole world, and you changed my perception about people, about life. Whatever I am today, Tokswab, to God be the glory. I was social secretary in Waka Club, my neighborhood club. But when you were the chairman
who purposely called on me and told me that you can do it, that we can do it together. I thank you, Toxfab, for giving me that opportunity, because it has even earned me more recognition in the larger society.
Professor, mo kí ẹ, kò sí ẹni tó mọ professor ṣáájú mi gbogbo àwọn tá a jókòó síbí báyìí. Nígbà tó wà nínú oyún tí màmá ẹ̀ gbé wá láti London ni mo ti mọ̀ ọ́. Mo pẹ̀lú àwọn tó lùlù lọ pàdé màmá ẹ̀. The father, bàbá ẹ̀ ló kọ́ mi ní ìwà ọmọlúwàbí, the virtues, the core values, wípé rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ìwọ ń ṣe. Ìyẹn ló ṣe jẹ́ pé orúkọ wa níbikíbi tá a bá dé ó máa ń ṣílẹ̀kùn. Wàá mọ àwọn Bamiro. I think the song was VC. You are, yeah. Bàbá ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn Bamiro ni headmaster wa ń gbà yẹn. Today, you are a professor. I'm proud of you. Professor Fabao. As virtually everybody that has had something to say about him have noted, he is very dutiful. He is a brother in the truest sense of the word, and I can call this, okay? His generosity, in fact, is a classic. I've had innumerable occasions to send people to him to go for referrals, and believe me, always got a red carpet. And when I say red carpet, I mean red carpet. Now, when his wife had a the first thing he said was greetings. That's indicative of so many things. Obviously, the Yoruba Tennis Club's sense of brotherliness, which he never hesitates to display. I mean,
He gave me the permission to create the youth platform of Yoruba Tennis Club. Just a lordship platform of the chairman, lordship platform here. And today, the youth platform of the Yoruba Tennis Club is one of the forces you want to associate with in Yoruba Tennis Club. It's a thriving platform. Even we have some other people that want to be on the platform, like Brother Vice Chairman. Unfortunately, he didn't make the cut-off mark. I respect his aristocratic, you would know that, because I'm somebody that likes the old age, the Lagos colony times and all that, and I see that a lot in him, the way he carries himself and all that, and that brings me to the last, the nominee. My dear Prof, I'm sure you know I respect you very much, highly, and I wish you well, good health, and sister, Bumi, she's like a mother to me as well. I respect you very well, and I wish you all the best.
Dear Prof, there is not much I'm going to say, except to conclude and to concur that actually we are celebrating a quintessential gentleman, a man of humility, expertise, and service to humanity. The line that is coming out of my own interest is service to the Lasuth, which is a branch of my former university. The development under him will be recorded in gold. He has done very well, and from all that you have said, quite frankly, the voice of the people is the voice of God. It means we testify to the fact that Professor Abango, man of the people, a gentleman, a man of positive service to humanity, and not tired. He's 70, but he's going to go beyond that in this nation.
But I've always wondered the kind of gentleman Tokunbo is. I've had a few interactions with him. Yes, he does sing very well. He sings very well. And very grateful that he was able to attend one of my church's community hymn singing a few years ago. It was very kind of you. You know, the way you know good men is when his peers, okay, his peers say very nice things about him, or they're expected to rate him. When your peers do that to you, that's when you know that you are indeed a gentleman. Tokunbo is a very credible man. Extremely credible man. And I do enjoy his company now and again.
In his response, the celebrant, Professor Brother Adetokunbo Fabanwo, expressed profound gratitude for the unexpected celebration, describing it as a defining moment in his life. He thanked Brother Greg Ozegbe for his meticulous organization and appreciated his friends for their heartfelt reflections and love.
I never saw this coming. I have had a few celebrations since on the 15th, majorly professional, but you are my friends. And Brother Greg Ozegbe, a complete gentleman, has put this together. I thank you, Brother Greg. Baba Greg, I thank you. I am indeed very grateful to you for putting this together for me. You had always shown me that you love me. I recall that when I was chairman of the club, supported our administration greatly. When we resuscitated the jazz movement and we had our first outing, Brother Ozegbe spent substantial money putting together a background of artistry that we used on that day. Beautiful. It cost a fortune. And Brother Ozegbe did it. And all the projects we did, anytime we called on him at that time, he responded positively. And so today, Brother Greg, I know that you have genuine love for me, because putting this together must also have cost you quite a tidy sum, and I appreciate it.
The celebration concluded with the celebrant and his friends taking to the dance floor for a joyous dance session, followed by a heartfelt toast proposed by Brother Tola Animashaun, capping the event on a jubilant note.
By everything everybody has said here, you've been here, you heard it. But I'll tell you one thing, sir. You got to the peak of your profession. I did too. But what people say outside of your presence is what matters. They're here, they're seeing you. They will not say things to upset you. But let me assure you, sir, most of what they say in your absence have manifested here. Your profession, your kindness, your empathy, your sympathy, your gentlemanliness, everything they've said here is what they say when you're not there. And then I want to advise you, sir, not everybody in this world would like you. And you said it yourself. When you're with people that don't like you, take a leave. I would like for everybody here to please rise up. Charge your glasses. Put some kind of drink in your glass. And water, whatever. If you cannot reach the celebrant, just toast to his health, his well-being, his future, his 80th birthday, 90th birthday. After that is left with him and God. To you, sir. God bless you eternally.
For over 2 decades, one name has stood tall in Nigerian media: Biscon Communications. From the vision of legendary broadcaster Prince Bisiolatilo, Biscon has brought people together, north, south, east and west, united by stories that speak our truth, moments that move us, and voices that echo across generations. From the Bisiolatilo Show, the iconic high society program that redefined TV magazine shows, to Biscon Politics, Biscon News Hour, Biscon Breakfast, and more. We inform, inspire, and entertain with a rich blend of culture, lifestyle, and substance. Based in the heart of Anthony Village, Lagos, Biscon has become the pulse of Nigeria's elite social scene, capturing the glitz, the grit, and the greatness of our time. And beyond the screen, Biscon is soaring across the digital space, building a powerful online community on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. With wide viewership and growing followership, our content now travels further, faster, and deeper into the hearts of millions, home and abroad. Whether it's talk shows, talent hunts, youth forums, or documentary, event coverage, or premium jingle production, photography, editing, or full post-production, Biscon delivers it all with class, culture, and clarity. It's more than content, it's connection. It's more than TV, it's tradition. It's not just media, it's a message. And with 24-hour broadcasting on Biscon TV, now on Go TV and streaming worldwide, we're louder, prouder, and closer to you than ever before. Biscon Communications, celebrating culture, shaping opinion, setting the pace for over 25 years, and still ahead of the game. Biscon Communications, telling Nigeria's story to the world, the Nigerian way. Every Monday on this station at 11 p.m., the spotlight comes on. It's the Bisiolatilo Show. From the heart of the action to your screen, BOS brings the glitz, the glamour, and the stories that matter. airing on AIT, streaming on Biscon TV through GoTV channel 144, and across Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. We're everywhere you are. From star-studded weddings to political events, corporate galas to celebrity interviews, BOS takes you behind the scenes with style, class, and authenticity. Powered by Biscon Television, our cameras don't just capture moments, we make them unforgettable. With crystal clear visuals, exclusive features, and premium storytelling, we bring you the faces, the voices, and the vibes that shape our world. Hosted by the legendary Prince Biscon, it's more than a show. It's a celebration of life, culture, and excellence. For news, events, and entertainment that shine bright, stay tuned. The Biscon Show. Every moment, pure magic. Back on the beat. BOS International Magazine is back. It's bold. It's fresh. It's everything BOS in print. The magazine you've missed. The one that once traveled side by side with the Biscon. Reimagined for today. Reborn for tomorrow. Once a flagship companion to the BOS brand, BOS International Magazine returns to reclaim its space, not just as a publication, but as a powerful extension of the BOS experience. From the vibrant pulse of people and politics to the fast lanes of sports and lifestyle. From the quiet corridors of influence to the vibrant streets that shape our culture. BOS International Magazine is your passport to the stories that matter. We shine the spotlight on the bold, the brilliant, and the beautiful. We capture the essence of Nigeria and the heartbeat of its people. We tell stories that inspire, profiles that endear, news that resonates, and moments that... It's not just a magazine, a mirror. It's BOS on a page. BOS International Magazine. News, sports, people, politics, places, lifestyle. By popular demand. Back in your hands. And once again, the perfect complement to BOS on screen.
On Wednesday, the 8th of August 2018, the Yoruba Tennis Club held her Jazz Night Summit at the Greetings Hall of the club, Onikon, Lagos. The Yoruba Tennis Club, founded on the 15th of September 1926, decided 12 months ago to add the Jazz Night Summit to other program of activities of the club to enrich the cultural landscape of the club. At the Jazz Summit, guests were treated to a night of Afro, traditional and classic jazz music, which brought back nostalgic feelings to the elderly members of the club, as well as die-hard jazz lovers. In attendance at the event were the chairman of the Yoruba Tennis Club, Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, the vice chairman of the Yoruba Tennis Club, architect Olaumi Agbaje, the president, Jazz Summit Group, Yoruba Tennis Club, Ambassador Segun Akinsanya, Otumba Alex Onobanjo, the president, Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, Prince Bengalu Fadeju, the chairman and CEO, Biscon Communications, Prince Biscon. Also in attendance were representatives of the Governor of Lagos State, Governor Akinwumi Ambode, the Secretary to the Lagos State Government, Mr. Tunji Bello, and Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Mr. Steve Ayorinde. The event kicked off with the opening remarks by the president of the Jazz Summit of the Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Ambassador Olusegun Akinsanya, MNI. In his remarks, Brother Ambassador Olusegun Akinsanya said the Jazz Summit was an addition to the landscape of the Yoruba Tennis Club, adding that it is aimed at uniting people of different social cultural groups to relax and enjoy jazz tunes that will ease the stress from the hustle and bustle of Lagos.
The international outreach. The international outreach of this, because jazz is a music of the matured minds. The matured minds, old and young, to have a bit of relaxation, and also as a way of fostering friendship and international outreach. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, has declared a day as International Jazz Day, and that is in April. And this is also endorsed by the United Nations General Assembly, fostering relationship, fostering international cooperation, and that is what Yoruba Tennis Club is trying to do. And we're on the world map. Having said that, we want to thank all our donors, sponsors, and I can see most of our sponsors that are here tonight, to thank you for the support and to say that we will continue to look for your support in future. Sit back and enjoy a pleasant evening.
In the remarks of the chairman of the Yoruba Tennis Club, Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, he welcomed all to the one-year anniversary of the creation of the Jazz Night Summit of the Yoruba Tennis Club. He appreciated Governor Akinwumi Ambode, who was represented by executive members of the Lagos State government. He also appreciated members of the Yoruba Tennis Club for their presence and support, as well as other individuals who have contributed immensely to the sustainability of the program. Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo said, "The Jazz Night of the Yoruba Tennis Club is the best place to be, as the club is committed to treating members and guests with the best of jazz music."
We started this a year ago, and it has come a long way. As of today, ladies and gentlemen, as I speak to you, jazz at the Yoruba Tennis Club is considered to be the place to be in the whole of the social hub of Lagos Island. We are not disparaging our sister clubs. We are not, certainly not. They are doing a good job, but they need to come here and learn lessons. There is a lot to learn from Yoruba Tennis Club. Tonight, awards are going to be given to some of our benefactors and people who had made this happen. And we have rolled out all the carpets. We are looking forward to a very beautiful evening. And all I need to say at this point is to just implore you to please sit back, relax, enjoy the music, enjoy the food, enjoy the exotic drinks that we have to offer. Welcome all.
The night also featured presentation of plaques to members who have contributed financially to the Jazz Summit of the Yoruba Tennis Club. The awards were presented in 3 categories: the Platinum category, the Gold category, and the Silver category. The Platinum awardees include High Chief Dele Fajemirokun, Otumba Alex Obanjo, Mr. Gregory Ozegbe, Mr. Yinka Fisher, and Bon Hotels. The awards were presented by Dr. Tunji Bello, Secretary to the Lagos State Government. Some of the gold awardees were Brother Kayode Shoyombo, Engineer Ayo Shitu, Brother Dainde Harrison, and Prince Bengalufadeju, while the silver awardees were Brother Kayode Anibaba, Brother Sheyi Joseph, Brother Segun Akinsanya, Brother Dele Adeola, Brother Bolaji Mendes, Brother Antonio Konlawoni, among many others. This was followed by a cake cutting exercise supervised by Mr. Steve Ayorinde, Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Lagos State.
J-A-Z-Z Jazz. Congratulations.
In the vote of thanks by Mr. Dele Adeola, he appreciated all who graced the occasion and wished everyone journey mercies to their various destinations.
Firstly, I would like to thank God Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, the Alpha and Omega, for making tonight a success. And on behalf of the Jazz Summit and the chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, Professor Adetokunbo O Sabanwo, I would like to say a big thank you to you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to tell you that we appreciate you for your support, for your love, for honoring our invitation. And by this time next year, prophetically, we will be here together to celebrate our second anniversary. In Jesus' name, I would like to appeal to you to drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night.
After the vote of thanks came whining and dining, as members were treated to tunes after tunes, mainly jazz music from the 1970s and 1980s. From Biscon Communications, we congratulate the Yoruba Tennis Club on the success of the Jazz Summit Night.
Mistreated, yet they can save your